But we've got a game to play tonight. Some things happened last week. A big thing that happened is you guys finally reached your destination, and I kind of gave Zora a heart attack when I told her what Alistair was doing.
A little bit. I have theories. They're all
so,
wrong, but I have theories.
So who was it that gave the rundown last time? Okay, so going off of what we did, we started up last night on the Tuesday game. Whoever gives the rundown gets to pick who gets to do the rundown this week. And if you can't decide, it's just HB Fox.
I was gonna say Fox. Shadow Fox, you're doing it.
To be specific, there's two of them.
Well, yeah, I do remember ADHD. So we were hunkered down in the barracks of, or in a outpost, and basically the local guard at this outpost was trying to bust down the door. We ended up making friends with them. There was one guy who interrogated the necromancer. Necromancer. But it turns out the person that they interrogated and nearly beat to death wasn't actually the necromancer, and that somebody who was just pretty prejudiced against elves had just decided to beat the crap out of him and try to put a feather in his hat. And then when we found out that he was lying, this guard tried to run, and we subsequently caught him, captured him, and as we made our way back to dinner, or as we made our way up to Denerim with this guard escorting us, they brought him along to turn him in because he was there as part of a sentence for a crime. So we ended the session up at Denerim, entering the town, and I think we had found an inn, or lodgings, I should say.
Yep, the Unicorn's Horn, which is an inn in the upper side of Denerim, the more high class area. As you do have the letter of introduction from the commander back at what was that place called? I'm horrible with DM. I can't even remember any of the locations. From Fort Ostagar, introducing you as two people who have information about a potential and now confirmed new blight. So as you have that, you have been given, each of you were given a coin from the Knight Captain, showing that you belong in this area, that you are friends of the king, and as soon as he is back from his week of mourning, you will be granted an audience with King Alistair, which gives you guys a week to go shopping, explore, and get into trouble in Denerim.
I'm still uncomfortable with the idea of leaving Asthea alone for a week in a city, but you know, what could go wrong?
People love me.
And if they don't, they get arcane lance to the face.
And then the town riots, and everyone tries to kill her. Then we knock her out.
Sacrifices somebody, summons a demon. Wait, have we done this before?
So everyone had already began to head out to explore the city when we stopped last week. Astia stayed in the inn, I believe it was, Or
I think she left the inn last, and she was headed to a tailor.
yes, that is right. You're at the tailor's, and then we have. I keep wanting to call you Merrick.
Wrong dwarf.
Yeah, Magnus and Ross, who were going for enchantment. Enchantment.
There we go. There it is.
And
That root word has officially been ruined for me now.
well, you play Dragon Age, that's what enchantment now sounds like. And then Zora, where was Valentha going?
I don't think I said.
You went somewhere. Oh, you were getting potions because you only had 27.
Now. I'll buy that many.
So,
That's right. I was going to like an apothecary or like some sort of potion shop.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
So-
remember now.
Kicking things off, Estia, you begin to wander around the streets of Denerim, seeing a wide mixture of people out on their daily business. The architecture and everything around you for a moment kind of makes you think back home to an extent. These buildings are a little more modern than how you are used to back in Minrathos, where everything is still in its ancient setting. Nothing's really been modified for common times, where it looks like these cities have gone through a couple these buildings have gone through refurbishment a couple times, patching up walls, bracing structures, making sure nothing's going to fall on top of one another.
I'll probably take my time wandering over to the tailor's. It's been a while since I've been in a city, and the city life suits me. So,
All right, and as you begin to wander down the street, you as you're passing people, every now and then you can see some of them turning and looking at you and whispering to one another. Not really making any sort of judgmental looks, but it seems that something about you is catching their attention.
can I hear any of these whispers if I try to?
Sure. Let me get my books here. I forget this is something that I actually need because unlike D&D, I haven't memorized this stuff. Pop all this stuff open. All right, that is in the first player's guide, right?
That's why I had to print stuff out so I can reference it easier.
Yeah.
Quick reference for the focuses,
Hearing.
if that's what you're looking
Yeah,
for.
perception. It'll be perception and hearing if you have it. If not, it's just a pull up perception focus.
Oh, why is my perception so bad?
Because you're a mage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not with that.
Oof.
You can definitely hear them talking about you, but nothing specifically stands out.
How often is this happening?
Every now and then, it's like when you around a corner, or you pass like a small group of people. Some of them will stop and like stare at you.
When I hear the whispering for the third or fourth time, I'm gonna very abruptly stop myself with a bit of a stamp on the ground and spin on my heel to face the people that were whispering. I'm just gonna call out, "Can I help you?"
When you call out, the group stops and a dwarven female turns to look at you. It kind of looks like about middle age. It's got a leather cap on. You can see like little wisps of dark black hair coming out from underneath the cap. She kind of looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm wondering. What are you talking about? I heard those whispers.
What's whispers?
You and your group of ruffians there.
Oh, ruffians are we? We're not
From my perspective,
we're not the ones walking the street looking like they just rolled out of bed and took the bed sheets with them.
don't start a fight, Esthea. You just got here.
You slinking out of some lord's manor, doing a bit of walk of shame.
How dare you? I am nobility, thank you very much.
You don't look like nobility here.
She's gonna.
Kind of like looks like somebody royalty may buy.
Oh, Esthea, no. She's gonna stomp up to this dwarven lady and kind of bend down so she's right in her face. I am an Altus from Minrathos. Thank you very much. I am the daughter of Magister Varus. You would do right to show me respect.
And she kind of she laughs. You're a magister's daughter, and you just announce it here in the middle of Denerim. What's
Yes, and I demand respect.
Well, you ain't gonna get it from me. Now,
No, I suppose I
Now-
wouldn't from your kind, would I?
yes, my kind. Is you kind of feel like a dagger pressing against your ribs. Now, how about you take a couple steps back before this finds a new home in you?
You have no idea what I'm capable of, little dwarf. Consider yourself lucky.
Apparently,
I have
dressing
better
yourself
things to do with my time.
apparently dressing yourself is not one of the things you are capable of.
No, we pay people like you to do it for us. She'll spin and start walking.
And there's a moment when there's silence here. And then all of a sudden you just feel this wet smack on your back.
I am going to look over my shoulder to see what that was.
All right, and as you look over your shoulder, you can see the dwarf and her group begin to walk off, but you can catch a glance of a large glob of mud that's just been tossed and like pelted you dead in the back, like against the captain's cloak that you were wearing.
What yeah, I'm gonna need to do another willpower for this. Come on with those rolls. What's around me and that group right now? Like the buildings, the other people.
There are multiple other people like walking by. It's rather busy foot traffic in this part of town as you are around a couple different merchant shops. You're in about a street or like a narrow pathway that's probably about 10 or 15 feet wide, with shops on either side of you, making this just this long corridor.
How tall are the roofs of the buildings around us?
If you had to judge, it looks like the roofs above you are anywhere from about 10 to 15 feet above you.
And are they made of like stone and plaster, or are they like
It's
wood?
you have some that are like have been renovated to where they are stone and plaster, and some of them that are still wood. The roofing on most of them are these clay shingles.
Okay. I'm going to, because that willpower roll was so shitty, I am going to undercharge an arcane lance and throw it at a diagonal up to like the corner of one of the buildings in the path of this group, so that like plaster, powder, and little pebbles and stuff land on them and kind of pelt them. I don't want to drop like big chunks of building on these people. I'm not looking to murder anyone. I just want to
Okay.
get revenge for them throwing mud at me.
All right. Let's see how well you roll. Okay.
19.
That you'll definitely be able to do that at a an undercharged pace. So you're not going to be knocking off large stone columns or anything onto like a poor unsuspecting person below.
Okay.
And you just thrust your hand forward, launching out like probably the tiniest arcane lance you have ever produced, as it flies up and it smacks the corner of one of these buildings, and like a couple pieces of shingle along with like gathered dust and like dried bird droppings and whatnot begins to rain down onto that group.
Perfect. As soon as I see that start to kind of fall right down on top of them, I'm just going to smirk to myself and start walking back down the path I was going.
And as this happens, you see that they don't really pay you any mind. Like the one person that it landed on kind of begins swearing and like dusting themselves off while everyone else is laughing at them. Almost as if this is a common occurrence.
Job well done.
Maybe. Let me roll something.
Job maybe not well done.
Okay, you're fine.
Oh God.
And you begin to you once you have that little spat with the dwarf and her friends, you begin to walk along until you find a tailor shop that kind of stands out to you. It's got a little more finery in its windows.
Is the entranceway open or is it a closed door? Or what does that look like?
No, the door to the shop is open, and the name of the shop is A Lady's Grace.
Right up my alley. I will go in there.
Fitting.
Fitting. And as you walk into the boutique, you begin to, like instantly, you just smell these very calming herbs and whatnot being burned in a censer next to the door. And just the thoughts of that altercation you had with the dwarf and their friends just is wisped away from your mind. And as you begin to peruse inside, you see that there is everything from your standard dress shoe all the way through like very finely made riding boots, coats, bodices, dresses, anything that you can think of like a woman of high society may wear for any sort of outing is on display in here.
Are there any dresses that might fit my style?
Are you looking for like the sort of dress you had previously to where it was like it was form fitting? It was like free of movement, nothing to hinder you up.
Sort of, yeah, but something form fitting, but it can hinder movement a little bit. Looking for more like a fancy party type of dress. Something that's kind of long and flowy. Just not something I'm going to obviously wear on a day-to-day thing, but just in case we find ourselves in any formal situations, which we will with the king in about a week, I want to have something appropriate to wear.
Okay, so this is more of something that a lady would wear to a dinner party or important gathering, less than
Like
fighting
thin shoulder
Darkspawn.
straps, deep V in the front, goes down the back a fair ways, follows the body line.
Okay. You begin to look through the dresses and you do find a couple of them that fit this detail. One is a very dark, like a very dark midnight blue with like a silver trim along the sides. The other one is this very bubblegum very bubblegum pink-esque style of a dress. And then there's one that is just almost catches the sun in a way to where it looks like the fabric itself is absorbing the sunlight as it moves. It kind of gives these little golden red waves to it.
Do any of the garments in here have prices listed on them, or is it take to the counter type of thing?
Every one of them has like a small tag that has been sewn onto like the corner of the dress.
How much is the blue one, and how much is the shimmery gold red one?
The blue one is 50 gold. And the shimmery gold red is 325.
Oh, that's I don't have that much, but I want it.
I rolled to steal. I mean, it is an option. It is Dragon Age.
In my perusing of the clothing in this store, have I spotted the owner or someone that works here that's kind of at a front desk or counter or something anywhere?
You see an elven boy sitting behind the desk, kind of with his hat over his eyes, and he's just like rocking back and forth in a chair, his feet kicked up on the front desk, as it would be.
I will approach him and kind of tap my nails on the desk to get his attention.
Oh, hello there.
Do you run this place?
No, my mistress does. She's currently out. Please don't tell her I was sleeping.
When will she be back?
I do not know. She said she had to go to the docks to settle a shipping matter because the incompetent fools down there didn't know their butts from a hole in the ground, I think she said.
Right. Do you have authority here, or does she make all the decisions?
If you're looking to buy something, I can definitely help you out.
Do you do invoicing here? Someone else was to pay for a garment, but was to be picked up by a different individual. Would you be able to send that invoice out, or is that something your mistress takes care of?
No, I couldn't do something like that, but until we get payment, you can't take the dress.
How quick is your messenger?
Oh, depends on how fast I can find one. Normally, I would be the messenger, but I'm the only one here.
Right. And your mistress, you said she's at the docks?
That's where she said she was going.
Is she expected back today before you close?
Well, I would hope so. The docks aren't that far.
Well, I have other things that I need to attend to, but clearly I need to speak to your mistress. So when she comes back, tell her that an Altus from Tevinter stopped by and will be coming by again before you close up shop.
And he pulls up a book. He's like, how do you spell Altus?
Do you not know how to write, child?
Oh no, I know how to write. I just don't know what that word means.
Someone of authority. A noble. The highest families in Tevinter are Altus.
And he begins to jot something down and just like underlines it twice.
And what was your name?
Why do you want to know my name? As like when he asked that, you can see in his eyes that he's almost fearful of giving his name to someone.
Let's start with your mistress's name then. What is her name?
Helena.
Very good, child. And now what is your name?
I can't give that to you. I don't know you.
Why not?
I don't know you.
Well, my name is Estia Varas. Now you know me. What is your name?
I can't give it to you. You're a stranger. Still, even if I know your name, I don't know
How
you.
old are you, child?
You're asking a lot of questions.
A lot of questions that have very simple and straightforward answers.
I don't tell myself it to anyone. Not after what happened.
You know, that
are,
sounds like...
Names are powerful things.
Oh, they are. If you're in some sort of trouble,
Not trouble
I don't
anymore.
want to know about it.
Not trouble anymore. Used to be.
As I just said, I don't want to know about it. Your business is your own.
My name is my business.
Right. Well, I'm not going to press you any further then. I'm not here to
Right.
go down that road.
Would you like some different clothing?
Well, that is why I'm here, but if you're not capable of answering my questions, then I will just have to go and take care of other business until your mistress returns.
Suit yourself. If you want to wear bed sheets, that's up to you.
It's been a long week, okay? Fine. That blue dress over there,
Yes.
the price that was on it was 50 gold, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will take that now. Do you have somewhere I can change?
Oh yeah, right back there. There's a singular stall changing room in the back of the boutique.
Okay, here's your gold. I'm going to take that dress and I'm going to go change, and then I will return later tonight.
Okay.
She does exactly that. She goes over to the dress, takes it, changes into it, leaves the bed sheets behind, and walks out of the shop.
Okay. So when you're inside the inside there, can you give me another hearing check?
I can. I can't.
You are just enthralled with how good this dress looks.
I mean, it does look pretty good.
But so
And I make it look even better, let's be honest.
you get dressed in everything, and when you walk out of the shop, the child is gone, and it looks like the strong box that would normally hold the coin are gone, and whatever he wrote your name in is gone.
Is there anybody else in the shop? Did he just like abandon it?
Nobody else is in the shop.
Oh.
And you could go ahead and give me a perception roll, seeing if you have it.
I don't.
Okay, you can. You'll see
That
that
looks slightly better than I have been doing.
the lock on the door to the boutique has you noticed was forced open.
Did that kid break in and then fall asleep before he finished stealing stuff? Yeah, all right. I'm going to stay in the shop and wait until the rightful owner returns.
Okay, you can go. You can give me another hearing check.
Hey.
Okay, it's at this point in time you wait for probably about another half hour, looking around the boutique, and you begin to hear some kicking on a door behind the front, like the front counter of the shop.
I will go straight to it and investigate.
All right, and there is definitely somebody on the other side of the door giving out like muffled grunts as they're kicking it.
How is this door sealed? I'm guessing it's probably locked in some way.
It's just closed.
Just closed. I'll open it.
Okay, and when you open it, you look down upon this terrified human woman who has been bound and gagged in her in her office.
Oh, my dear, I know exactly what you're going through. I will help her up and untie her and take the gag off of her.
All right, and before we get to how she reacts to all this, let's go ahead and take our first break for the night, just so we can keep on with the time the same time frame that we normally go. We don't go overboard. But we're gonna take a quick break here, guys, about 5 minutes, and when we get back, we'll find out how bad the shop just got robbed. But stick with us; we will be right back.
Oh,
Okay, we are back. So, when we took our break, Astia just found the shop owner of the boutique where she thought she had legitimately purchased a dress, hog-tied in her back office, her lockbox and a couple other of her goods being ransacked by a elven boy. And when you untie her and everything, she kind of gives a very overdramatic gasp as she gets up and she throws herself into her arms, begins to like softly sob.
I will just stand there, kind of semi holding on to her while she cries. I mean, I've been there before, man. There's a bathhouse not that long ago. It's a whole ordeal.
I know that
I
feel.
know what she's going for. Her going through. I'll kind of be her shoulder until she's done.
Oh, thank the maker you are here. It was horrible. Those little ruffians descended upon me, and before I knew it, I was tied up in my own office.
Are you hurt in any way?
Only my dignity.
Well, it seems the little elf boy got away with a few of your things.
What? Not my dresses.
No, the dresses are quite all right, including this one, I suppose. But your lockbox, he seems to have made off with it.
Little rat.
My thoughts exactly. Does this happen often in this city?
Recently, yes, there have been a series of thefts committed by some of the younger generation here in Denerim. They're all orphans. There's something about them. Oh, they all seem to serve some master thief known as the Den Mother.
I wonder if that's the mistress that he alluded to. What was the name he told me?
Elena? No, that is me.
Elena?
That
No,
is
it's you.
That is me. I am the owner of this shop. Or
Oh.
this boutique, I should say. I'm sorry, the local lingo is starting to wear on me.
Well, if you're the rightful owner, then I suppose I should give you the money for this dress.
Oh, no, not at all. Please take it as a gift. You've already been robbed as well. Just
Well,
do me a favor. If you see that little elf boy, wring his neck for me.
Oh, I promise you I will do much more than that. That boy will rue the day that he stole from me, of all people. Is there anything else I can do for you? I don't want to just leave.
Are you
after everything.
someone of import?
Why, yes, I am. I happen to be from a very decorated house from Tevinter.
Oh, my blood. She kind of like now reaches out and just fully embraces you, this time not crying. It's been
Awkwardly pats her on the back.
It's been so long since I've seen someone from home.
You're from Tevinter as well.
Yes, but it's been quite a bit of time since I've set foot in our homeland. My mother and father left when I was but a small child.
It certainly eases my soul to see another from Tevinter. It's been too long for me as well.
Or did you flee as well?
No, not quite. I found myself in a very precarious situation south of here. I just kind of came to. I was there. I have no idea how I got here.
No, my mother and father were exiles. We fled from Tevinter, and then made our way to Orlais.
What, may I ask, were they exiled for?
I do not know. They do not tell me.
Well, it was them that was exiled and not you, so I can't hold any trouble that they got into against you. Right?
I had nothing to do with it. I was but a child.
Then we have nothing to worry about. I actually find myself headed back north to Tevinter. It's going to be a long trek, but I'll be staying in the city for a week or so before continuing the journey. You're wanting to go back. You could always come with me.
I am afraid that is impossible. While I had no hand in my parents' crime, my family is marked for death if we were to cross into their border.
That is a troublesome situation, isn't it? Well, I have a bit of sway into Winter, so perhaps when I return, I can always inquire on your behalf. Even if you don't desire to come back, it would be nice to have the option available.
It would be nice to see our homeland once again.
It is always nice to see the homeland, especially after spending so much time here. I'm sorry, I didn't get your last name, did I?
Perdon.
Can you spell that for me?
P-U-R-D-A-N.
Okay.
If you are going to inquire, it is House Perdon.
I can't promise anything, but
Just be careful who you speak to, as that may bring unwanted eyes in your attention or to your direction.
well, I feel like I'll have a lot of eyes on me when I return, so what is another pair?
Now, if I heard you correctly, even though I was bound, you were looking at a red and the red and gold dress.
I was, yes. Unfortunately, it seems
Take it.
that today isn't the only time I've been robbed, and I have very little gold on me at the moment.
No, take it. Take it, please.
Oh, I couldn't.
You
Such a beautiful dress.
you have already saved me from suffocation or dying of hunger. Please just take it.
How
as
about
payment.
this, then? I will take the dress, and in exchange, I will hire you to do some tailoring for me. I need a new outfit. And perhaps we can get a drink together after you close up shop tonight.
That would be wonderful. Yes, please. I'd be more than happy to make you anything you need.
Well, I'm in need of quite a lot. An entire outfit from undergarments to overcoat. My last one, well, it's a long story.
I can do that. Now, is this for more of a casual day today, or are you looking to fend off ruffians?
Well, I certainly hope I won't have to fend off ruffians, but if they ever descend upon me, it would be nice to have the freedom of movement that would allow me to do so.
And I don't want to make assumptions, but you said you are from our homeland. You are a mage?
I am, yes.
Wonderful. I have a friend who may be able to help get a little more oomph in your magic.
Well, I certainly wouldn't turn that down.
Okay, but before I do that, I must get your measurements so we get it just right.
Yes, of course.
You don't want a stray sleeve or anything bungling you up when it would be a life or death situation.
And I do find myself in a lot of those lately. Especially with the company I keep.
So she takes you over to a stand and she brings out her measuring tape and she begins to like measure you and jot down notes in a small book that she has on her hip. Goes,
Now, whatever the cost, I will pay it.
yes, yes. I will get right to this. I have some ideas for different designs.
Well, you are from Tevinter, so I trust your judgment in that department.
I
Now,
am from Tevinter, and I was trained in Orlais, so I have some of the
even
most
better.
some of the best fashion sense around.
I can't wait to see what you come up with. And what time do you close up shop? So I know when to stop by for that drink.
I will be done at sunset.
Perfect. Well, I will see you then.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to lock up shop real quick. I need to report this crime.
And probably buy a new lock while you're out.
Did they bust it again?
I'm afraid they did.
I really need to move. And she says this as she's like escorting you outside, and she kind of pulls the door tight as she can, and she locks it as best as she could, but you can tell that like any swift nudge or anything is going to like knock this door apart or knock this door open again.
Are you sure that's going to be secure enough?
Well, they can't hit my store twice in a day.
Well, they were orphans, did you not say? They're probably not very bright, so they might hit it twice in one day.
Oh no, the den mother instructs them well.
Ah, I see. Well, then I suppose you have little to worry about.
Yes. So if you do happen across this den mother, there's quite a bounty for her.
Is there?
Oh yes.
Well, I don't really tend to stick my nose in other people's business, but the company that I keep, they like to get in trouble whenever the opportunity arises. So perhaps if they are with me and we come across this den mother,
So
we can turn her in.
the current bounty is 1,500 gold on her head,
It's quite hefty.
with the bonus if you can bring her in alive.
This does kind of sound up their alley. They're
Not
quite
to
keen
mention, you would be doing me and other, some of the other unfortunate merchants here a very large favor.
And I suppose where we find this den mother, we may find her children as well, and I can wring the neck of that elf boy and get our stuff back. Do you know where I might find this den mother, or where the populace seems to think she is?
No one can tell. She apparently moves as much as possible. Though if you were to get a hand on one of her little orphans, they would probably squeal rather quick.
I'm sure I could make them squeal. I'll keep an eye out.
She nods. She like excuses herself, and she begins to like walk down the road.
Before we kind of part ways, I'll like give her hand a bit of a gentle squeeze as we say goodbye and part.
All right. So while this is going on, Valantha, you are walking through the streets of Denerim, going through some of the more populated roads, making your way to an alchemist. Every now and then, you catch glimpses of something leaping from roof to roof, almost as if it's tailing you. But every time you look to get you look up to get a better better source of eyesight on it, it's gone. Always almost evading you, just sitting in your corner of your eye, to the point to where you begin to wonder if it's just your imagination, with like the architecture of the buildings and the light playing tricks with you with the shadows.
Can I tell that it's following me specifically, or it's just hopping across the rooftops?
You have this, you start to get like the sense of paranoia that something is following you.
Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of look around, sort of semi-casual, and I'm going to kind of feign being lost and kind of find a nice secluded area, possibly an alleyway, and go down it and wait for whoever it is.
All right, and you begin. You stand there and you wait, and you wait and you wait, and nobody comes by. You don't get that sense that anybody is watching you anymore.
Gonna look up and see if there's a way to climb up and peek over the rooftop.
There definitely is a way for you to parkour up there.
Okay, I want to go ahead and I want to look in the last direction I saw them hopping towards and kind of climb up and get a better view.
Okay. So you're gonna have to give me some rolls here to get up that. So
Some dexterity.
let's see. Yep, it would be dexterity.
What? Wow.
So you begin to parkour up and you jump up to one of the overhanging balconies that this one shop has, and you grab onto a rotten piece of wood, and it just breaks underneath your weight, and as you go falling back down into the alley itself.
Wow.
Now, because that is triple ones,
Yeah.
that is a failure.
Yeah. Holy crap.
So, Asthea, I'm gonna need a Constitution focus from you, just straight up Constitution.
Me or Thea?
Valentha, I'm sorry, I confused the names.
Oh, but that's fine.
All right, so even though you fall, you're able to brace yourself for the landing just a bit, and you've only barely sprained your wrist in the fall. But it kind of throbs, letting you know that you're not going to be climbing up anything for the time being.
Well, that ruins the next things I was gonna do. So I'm just gonna walk out, just pretending like I'm like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go, and kind of make my way towards the apothecary while still trying to keep an eye out for what it is. And the next time I see them jump, I want to see if I can get a better. I want to pay more attention and see what it is.
You're just trying to get a more of a sight of what it is.
Yes.
Try as you might, you don't catch a hide nor a hair of whatever's tailing you. But you do make it to the apothecary, your wrist kind of throbbing a little bit more from the fall. And as you walk in, you're hit with the sense of wet leaves and earth. As you can see, numerous plant troughs along the along these long wooden tables, all of them looking like they've freshly been watered and tended to. There are a couple plants that are up in pots along the windows. Near one side of the wall you can see various vials of different kinds of tonics and ointments, all of them listed, all of them having this small paper tag on them listing what they are, along with their price.
I'm going to go see if they have any more elf fruit.
They definitely do have an overabundance of elf fruit. One trough itself that's dedicated to an entire table near like a back wall, you've probably got like 25 different stalks of elf fruit growing out of the soil.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to the counter and try to get someone's attention to help me.
And like you go to the front counter and there's nobody there.
Hello? Anyone here?
And you begin to look around, and all of a sudden you feel like something nipping at your boot. And when you look down, there's this small, very overly pink nug at your boot, kind of like nipping at it.
So it's a baby nug.
It looks like it's maybe a month or two old.
Oh, I'm gonna pick it up with my good arm.
You pick it up and it begins to snort excitedly, and its little feet are like kicking as it's trying to get away from you.
I'm just gonna, so since it's small enough, I could probably just hold it up like a puppy with my
Yep.
one hand.
And like its legs are on either side, just like kicking in the air.
You just see like this big grin go across her face, and she's just like, well, hello there, I don't suppose you know the owner that lives here, do you? Cute little thing?
And as you're holding it there, you hear, Sebastian, I see you made another friend.
Hi, the nug.
Sebastian. I love it.
Oh, hello, this is your nug, I take it.
Yes. He's one of my newer nugs. And as you move Sebastian to the side and look down, there's this little old lady, just in this very dark brown apron with like soot, not soot, but soil and everything all over. She's got like a piece of elf fruit sticking out of her grayish hair. She's got very thick glasses on.
Oh, well, it's very adorable. I do love nugs.
Yes, he's the last one of the litter. I decided to keep that one.
Well, good choice. I'll go ahead and I'll let him down. I'll pat him on his little butt.
And as he does that, he kind of like scurries over and begins to like hop around the lady's feet, and then he runs off to the back. Yeah.
I want to steal it.
He's sort of my official greeter at times when I'm off in the back working on the plants. He is up here making sure everyone is being have.
Well, he did a fine job greeting me. It was a very warm welcome. So thank you, wherever he went.
He's probably off in the back, probably doing his rounds.
As one does.
So I don't assume you've been here to talk about nugs all day. How can I help you?
Fun as that would be, actually. No, I'm here to seek certain herbs and plants that I would like to, well, not only purchase for myself, but maybe to upgrade and have them mixed. I don't suppose that you mix any of these yourself.
Oh, I do everything here myself, dear. All the potions you see on the wall were made by me.
Excellent. I have plenty. Well, you never can have enough, but I do need more elf root. However, I do already have a few, as well as some arbor blessing, and was wondering if I could get however much this could get me, and I pull out the bundles to enhance the potions that I already have, however many that this could get me.
How many of each do you have at the moment?
I have 2 bundles of the elf fruit and 1 bundle of the arbor blessing. So if she has more I can purchase of both, I will. But the elf fruit is what makes the potions, and the arbor blessing makes
Enhances
it
it
better. Yeah.
Well, with this, definitely make about 5 or 6 enhanced potions just from what you've given me.
Do you have any more arbor blessings that I could purchase to kind of double that?
Yes, I do have arbor blessings. I have more elf roots. I have pretty much almost any herb that is common around these areas, and some that aren't as common.
Perfect. I will go ahead then, and I'll double that if you don't mind, and I'll purchase another bundle of arbor blessing to enhance the potions and double what I'm giving you. And then just buy some extra elf fruit on the side as well.
Okay, so you want me to, let's see, with all that, you would probably get about 10 or 10, 11, 12-ish, maybe enhanced potions. And then you want,
Perfect.
how much elf root would you want on top of that?
Actually, I would like to replace what I am giving you. So 2 more bundles. So
Two
a
more-
bundle of the Arbor Blessing and 2 bundles of the Elf Root, plus the enhanced work.
Okay, well, the enhanced work with all that, that would be 10 silver. That's not really that much. Along with the Arbor Blessings and the elf root, you're maybe looking at a gold.
And out of curiosity, do you happen to have a potions kit that I can purchase so I could make some more on the road?
I myself do not have those. Though, if you go down the street a bit and talk to a young man named Jeffrey in something called Odds and Ends, he should definitely have some sort of potions kit for you.
Odds and ends. All right, I will make that my next stop. Just out of curiosity, I mean,
I'm
I'll be
sorry.
for a while.
I'm sorry, it's not Odds and Ends. That's the Enchanting Boy. Oh, what is this called? Oh, I think it's Who's in What's or What's It in Whizzles.
I'm noticing a pattern.
How's and Why. That's what it's
How's
called.
and why?
Yes. He deals in oddities. But he should have something for you.
I wrote down house and wise. Okay, right, that's the wrong one. House and wise. Okay. So how long will it take then to have you enhance these potions?
For all of this, you could probably pick it up by the end of the day.
You are marvelously fast. That is fantastic. I will go ahead and I will give her 3 gold. And I suppose I will continue my shopping and be back hopefully by the end of today. If not, then definitely tomorrow. And I will come back and purchase them. If you don't mind, could I at least grab the 2 bundles of the elf root now, and then I'll just pick up the rest later?
Yes, you can definitely grab your herbs now, and then when you come back, the potion should be ready.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I will see you shortly then. Thank you.
And as you're
I'll
walking out,
before I leave, look around the corner, see if I can see Sebastian real quick.
yep, Sebastian is like sitting at one of the legs of the long tables, and he's kind of just like pawing at it.
I kind of like wrinkle my nose, and I'm like, oh, fuck you. Just leave.
As you're leaving, you hear a call out. She's like, "Oh, Sebastian, dear, we have work that needs to be done. Get the fire ready."
That's so cute. And I'll make my way towards Hows and Wise.
Okay. So while all of that is going on, Ross and before we get to Ross and Magnus, Zoro, can you give me a seeing roll when you leave?
Why? It's only my specialty. In theory, that's still not bad.
That's not that bad. So as you're walking out, in like just the happiness you were feeling of seeing a newborn, like an almost newish born pug, or nug, I should say, not pug.
It's basically a bug.
They you begin to walk down the street, and you stop for just a brief moment as in the crossing foot traffic on the opposite side of the road, you catch a sight of a very pale looking man with this soft brown hair, and like his eyes just have like these dark circles like around them, almost like they're sunken, and maybe like he hasn't gotten some sleep in a couple days.
And I know some staring at me, or he's just doing something else.
He's staring at you, and when you like your eyes connect, he kind of gives you a mischievous smile, and then as a couple people like cross in between you, he's gone.
Dun, dun, dun.
Without making it obvious, I'm just kind of scanning the area, and I'll walk towards where he is and see if I can see any footwork on the floor and see if I can see where he went.
Give me a searching roll. All right. So as you're looking around, on one of the small cobblestones, it looks like somebody has written, everyone makes their choice. What's your answer?
Confused by it, I'm going to inspect it further just to see if there's maybe something hidden around it,
Okay.
since I don't quite understand. And while this is happening, this is going to sound weird, but it totally works. I'm going to pull out some of the elf fruit, and I'm going to kind of chew on it a little bit, and then take some of the leaves and kind of wrap it around my wrist to kind of help a little bit, and then
Okay.
take the branch part of it and just start gnawing on it like a toothpick.
Okay, so you can give me a medicine roll for that to see if you can't like apply some relief to your sprained wrist.
If nothing else, it's like temporary like pain reliever. It's not exactly going to cure it, but what would that be under?
There is medicine.
I'm just trying to figure out what medicine is.
It's medicine or healing. One of those. It's
A
cunning.
cunning.
Yep.
There it is. Okay. My rolls.
Yeah. All right. So you're able to like it at least dulls the pain around your wrist.
Just to at least help with the throbbing. I'm just like,
Yeah.
ugh. Yeah, and try to investigate this cobblestone.
Nothing really around the cobblestone. It looks like whoever wrote it took their time in writing it, so it was clearly legible.
Is it written in just ink, chalk, blood?
Ink.
Ink. It looks fairly fresh.
Mm-hmm. It looks like it's just dried.
All right. And what does it say one more time?
Everyone makes their choice. Which is yours?
Oh God. All right, so I will keep a very close eye out on, not 100% sure if that was the person who was tailing me, but keep an eye out for rooftops, alleyways, anything shady, as well as specifically that man I saw as I make my way towards the house and wise.
All right. So while Valentha is dealing with her stalker, Magnus and Ross, you kind of get weird looks walking through the street, as a dwarf and a Kunari aren't really something you would see traveling together, like in Ferelden. Ross's presence alone kind of draws some questioning glares, and people slowly move away from him, giving him like sort of a wide berth on the street.
Would you say my presence dwarfs Magnus's? All right.
All
right, mega disadvantage for everyone. But they're giving you a wide berth, almost as if like they're expecting you at any moment to go into some sort of berserker rage and start kicking down doors and killing people. But it takes you a bit of time. But you come to a very strange looking shop. Almost as if the shop itself has been pieced together with different kinds, different planks of wood and different cuts of stone. Almost as if like somebody just threw different remnants of wood and stone from different parts of the world together, and it's made this really odd looking ramshackle hut. but on the outside is a very well made and designed sign that where is that name? And it's and on it you see it say FedEx Odds and Ends.
Well, we go in.
What about Magnus? Is Magnus following in?
Yeah. Magnus is doing the whole wander around like a freaking tourist thing at the moment. But yes.
All right, and as you walk into this strange looking establishment, a weird vibration almost passes over you as you walk through the doorway. And as you look around, there are various relics and different weapons, couple toys, a couple articles of clothing, some jewelry boxes and jewels, just strewn about the walls on shelves and in small display cases. And over in the back, there is very broad-looking young man, dwarvish, his head completely shaved, no beard whatsoever, and you could see what almost look like, you would swear they were arcane tattoos, but they're not dark enough for any sort of ink that you've seen. And the boy seems to just be staring off into space.
Hello? Or clap my hands once or twice. Hello?
Oh, hello? Hello? As an older looking dwarvish gentleman comes out from the back room. You can see that he's got a like a merchant smock on, kind of like dusting his hands off. Ah, welcome to FedEx Odds and Ends. I am Bowden Fedek, owner and proprietor of this shop. This here is my boy Sandal. He doesn't say much, but what he lacks in words, he makes up for in miracles.
Is there something wrong with him?
Couldn't tell you. He's always been like that since since I found him on the dark roads. I can't really do a Bowden voice, I'm sorry.
Oh, hello there. Welcome to the enchantments. This is me boy Sandal.
Yup.
So what can I do for you today?
Oh. Well, due to recent happenings, and I sort of take my axe out and set the hilt down. I was hoping you could do something to make this a little more useful.
Useful how?
We keep encountering things that it seems to pass right through.
Oh, Darkspawn.
And other things, but yes.
I'm just making everybody wait. As he's like,
Enchantments!
as he kind of looks over at Sandal, he's like, "You're in luck. My boy here is a master enchanter." And as soon as he says enchanter, Sandal just like his head just like kind of like turns over at you, and kind of looks at the axe, and he's like, enchantment?
That
He
would be
said
an
it!
idea.
And he doesn't even wait for you to hand the axe. Enchantment! And he grabs the axe from you, and he kind of puts it on his desk, and he begins to like just go over it with his hands and look around at it. So do you have any idea of what you want my boy to enchant on the axe before he kind of goes overboard?
As it's my absolute favorite weapon I carry, what would you suggest? I mean, I know very little of enchantments of any breed.
Enchantments. Sorry, he's gonna say that for a while. That's kind of one of the only things he can say.
Well, at least I know he's focused.
Ah, that he is.
But what would you suggest?
I'm not really the adventuring sorts, but in my adventures, I have encountered those who are. One of the old-time favorites is fire. You can't go wrong with fire. Lightning seems to be another one. Couple odds and ends, you know, like spirit enchantments. It all suits whoever is wielding the weapon.
What does that last one do?
Have you ever been punched by a ghost?
Can't say that I have.
Taken a bolt from a wraith?
Maybe.
Have you seen a ghost hit anything before?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, I have.
That's spirit.
You should ask Thea about this next time you get a chance. She has wonderful stories about ghosts for you.
Well, that could be interesting.
Yes,
Not
was within
asking us Thea's stories, but Thea.
it was within the first couple days that we knew each other. It's quite
How
entertaining.
have you not gotten rid of her yet? Never mind.
And Magnus kind of just stares.
I don't like that it's taking you so long to come up with an answer for that.
No, Magnus just gets lost in thought. Just sort of, Oh, right. I don't happen to have my book open at the moment. Is cold a physical option?
Oh,
for
yes. Yes, ice.
Ice would be wonderful on that, if it's at all possible.
Oh, it is very possible. Now, just so you know, anything you hit with an ice weapon has a chance to freeze that. So be careful what you hit. Because even the gentlest of love taps can give somebody a little bit of frostbite.
That's okay.
Yes. How strong would you want the enchantment?
Magnus kind of takes the coin purse off his belt, shakes it a little. That depends how much it costs.
How much do you have?
Magnus rustles around in the pouch and sets 50 gold down on the counter.
Well, it is a little light. A basic level 1 enchantment, as we refer to it here, is at least 150. But I tell you what, we're running a little low on a certain type of ore. If you could possibly acquire some for us, we can make it a fair trade.
We also probably have some other work that needs to be done. That's just one of the things.
Hmm.
One moment here. Ross, was there anything you needed?
Is he paused?
We lost Zoro and...
Internet died.
Yep, I'm doing this. That's...
I didn't know if he was like deep in thought or what was going on.
Just thinking real hard.
There we go. Okay, we got Zoro.
Zoro's back.
I lost you guys.
Oh,
Nope.
okay,
There we go.
so let's go ahead and take our second break for the night as we work to get Shadow Fox back.
Good timing, at least.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah.
So stick with us, guys. We will be back, and hopefully the cameras will be fixed.
Oh, jeez.
So give us about like 5 minutes or so. We will be right back.
Oh my.
Okay, we are back.
Oh, hi.
So
Hi.
I just want to retcon something because I misspoke. Your enchantments are not 150 gold. They're 15.
I was gonna say because I got mine done, it was like cheap. I was like, oh.
No,
Enchantments are
Meg
15
is
gold.
having a minor heart attack here.
Oh man, mine was like 20 gold. Jeebus, not even that.
yeah,
I'm
no,
going to
no.
enchant everything.
Yeah, a level 1 enchantment here will get you. It's 15 gold.
What's
That
a
makes
level
me feel
2?
massively better.
Excuse me.
He still mentioned they were out of something.
Yeah, that was only because I was trying to give you something in order to get the enchantment, but since you
Oh.
have that,
Well, then, in that case, I'm going to pry a little more. So, how good do they get?
oh, my boy here can do from the mundane to the almost, dare I say, godlike. He,
How much would that run?
let's just say even King, well, maybe King Alistair would be able to pay for one. They require a lot of resources, and it tends to put young Sandal through a bit of a strain. If he does it too much in too little time, it could kill him.
Well, that would be the worst thing ever.
No, yes, I do not want to lose my boy to make some money. That is not what I want or ever should think about. But no, yes, you had questions.
Well, maybe talk to us about something a little bit more reasonable, but more than this base level.
Well, most that come through here, they tend to only get up to maybe a level 3, as it begins to put a strain on the weapon itself unless it's masterfully crafted.
What would how much do you usually charge for something like that?
A level 3, that is when things start to get expensive. You're looking at probably about 125 gold for a level 3.
And what does this actually do? What happens with this level?
Well, think of the oomph that you get in a level 1 enchantment, which in our dwarven friends here's case, his axe would have the chance to freeze something. Multiply that by 3. It's 3 times as strong, and its effects can be felt on even the highest of darkspawn. Well, not archdemons, but you understand.
That's something I'd rather
We
just
won't
not
be running
encounter.
into those. I'd rather not run into one of those.
No. That would be unfortunate. Well, I would be more than happy to pay for Sandal to do some of that work. I wasn't sure, Ross, was there anything you needed?
Well, let's see here. I'm gonna pull out my shock dagger in a little flashy manner, flip it around and put it down on the workbench. This seems to already have something like what you say. It likes to deliver lightning to its target.
Oh yes,
But
a shock enchantment. Looks like very base level.
enhanced further.
Definitely. It can definitely be enhanced.
And since it already has an enchantment on it.
And you say that, and Sandals looks at you and goes, enchantment?
Would that reduce the amount of work that has to be put into it?
Well, it would definitely reduce the amount of supplies we would have to use. So there would definitely be a difference in price than somebody who was bringing in a base weapon and wanted it upgraded to that level. Normally, we charge about 40 gold for a level 2. But since you're bringing this in, we can easily knock it down to 25.
That's excellent. All right, I do have some other questions. These enchantments sound very, very useful. Anything for increasing protection, warding?
Oh, yes, yes. Weapons are not the only thing my boy can enchant.
So armor?
Yes, armor, rings, necklaces, odds and ends.
And how would that be about the same cost?
Now, those vary depending on what you wish to have your armor enchanted to do. I mean, some like to increase the physical protection, others like to increase magical protection.
That sounds good.
A magical?
Yes.
Well, it is definitely useful.
So what are we looking at there?
Well, for it, again, it depends on the type of armor you're looking at. A mage's robe versus a Templar's plate are going to be two different things. They're going to require two different amounts of work,
What I'm wearing.
which is close to nothing. No, that's what I'm saying is like, which is close to pretty much nothing.
My character art showed it. It's leathers. It's made for movement, ease of movement.
It's Kunari armor.
Yeah, which is basically
Straps.
covering up the bits.
Yep, it's bulky parts in some areas and just belts.
Yep.
Well, for something like you're wearing, that's what, leathers?
Yes.
Oh, leathers are decent. A level 1 enchantment for armor starts at 25 gold for leather armor.
This is all sounding really great. I would like to enhance this dagger. I would like you to put the same, but in fire, on my short sword.
The level 2.
Yes.
Okay. So
And-
that's 65.
And my armor, I would like magical protection. And how much would you say level 2 is?
Level 2 is going to run you about 75.
That sounds good.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't. I need to acquire something better than. And Magnus kind of picks at a lot of the holes and other things that are marking his armor. Something better than what's left of this. You wouldn't happen to know a smith, would you?
Oh, I know plenty of smiths. But you know, being dwarves, we tend to promote our own. There is a dwarf right up the street from us that does excellent work on arms and armaments. And surprisingly enough, they seem to have the best resonance with Sandal's enchantment ability.
Would that be something that I should get from him? I assume the enchantments are added afterwards.
Oh, yes, we can't add enchantments until there's something physical to enchant.
I wasn't sure if it was part of the crafting or not.
Oh no, no. My boy needs physical items to enchant. Unfortunately, he cannot enchant ore.
That's fair. Can I leave the axe with you, along with the cost for that, while I go speak to um, our fellow dwarf?
Yes, yes, but of course.
Oh, also, how long is this all going to take?
With all of this, Sandal really hasn't enchanted anything today, or for the past couple days, so he should be well rested. Give it end of the day.
This will not put too much strain on the boy, will it?
Oh no. It's just when we start getting bulk orders from customers, I tend to space it out. This is only 3 or 4 things. He can handle it.
Understandable.
Well, I most likely will be back at the end of the day with something else for you that he can possibly do tomorrow.
And Bowden kind of nods and he takes the payment for the axe. And if Ross is paying the 190 for all of his stuff, and leaving the stuff there as well.
Yes.
Okay, so he takes your gear and he puts it off into like a small box next to Sandal as he gets started on Magnus's axe. And as he's doing that, you hear him begin to mutter something. As he his hands just kind of stop over the axe. He kind of looks up at Magnus, and he in a very dull tone of voice, he says, 2 hearts go down the hole, one slowly beating and then fades away. Royal tears will fall. And then he just goes back to enchanting as if nothing happens. Or as if nothing happened.
Magnus.
I have no idea what he is referring to.
Okay.
I look to... I'm horrible with names. Bowden, and do you know what he's talking about?
He does this sometimes. I don't really know what he's talking about. When he gets like that, the boy talks in riddles.
Right. Well, we should be back. I have apparently a gentleman I need to talk to about replacing this, what at one point passed for armor.
Okay. So while you are leaving to go speak to the smith, Esthea, where have you wandered off to?
What is next on my list? Conveniently, the smith is next on my list. Need to repair these gauntlets that have had daggers go through them.
Okay. So you walk down through the streets around near the dock area, like a little closer to the sea. The smell of the salt air.
I'm going to keep an extra eye out for any of those urchins.
We just lost Shadow Fox again.
Yeah, his computer crashed again. He'll be back in just a few seconds.
Okay, well, let me see how's this. That doesn't work. It's like we're all jumbled right now. We're a puzzle. All right, well, you guys are gonna have to deal with this until Shadow Fox gets back.
It's only going to be for a minute.
So you make your way around near the ocean. You can see a couple kids playing along like the shoreline, kicking water and chasing waves. You do get a sight of the dock area where you can see like large freighters and whatnot pulled into dock. The dock workers pulling off various size crates of goods and loading them into either storehouses or on the back of carts to be delivered further in on the city. And as you get closer to the smithy, you begin to hear the working of a hammer on an anvil that is then joined by like 3 other hammers, kind of like striking in a rhythmic motion, just one after the other, all sounding like they're hitting the same piece of metal. When you walk up to the opening, you can feel the heat of the furnace from inside the smith, and you can see that there are 4 dwarves with hammers striking this large piece of metal in rhythm, as another one is holding it with by the tongs, and they just repeatedly, just not missing a beat, hitting it over and over and over again.
Are they the only ones that are here, or is there
No, there is
someone else?
There's another smith, another dwarf, who seems to be over at a small workstation. He's got a pair of goggles on as he's like holding a pair of tongs, and he's like bending a thick piece of metal into a circle. And he's heating it up and bending it again and just going through the process. And it looks like he's making some sort of some sort of like sword ring.
Is there a like front counter to this place, or is it just an out in the open
It's an out in the open smithy.
I will approach what I assume is the general entryway, and kind of lean against the wall, I guess, and tap my knuckles quite hardly against it to try and get one of their attention, or to get the attention.
It takes a moment, but the dwarf that is behind or over at the little workstation with the ring notices you, and it gives you a polite nod as he sticks the ring in a bucket of water and lets it sit there, as he takes off the gloves and throws them off, and he pulls the goggles up to his forehead. As he's walking to you, he has like a sort of bandana over his head, keeping his long hair out of his face. It's in now what looks to be a very messy, I guess, ponytail, you would call it, as like the work and the sweat, the heat and everything has just like frizzled it all to hell. So he's got a very neatly trimmed black beard. And he walks over to you, like dusting his hands off. Don't see much of you around here. You lost, or?
Not quite. Are you lot available for work?
Always.
Want to interrupt?
Forge is on, we working.
Are you of reputable skill?
I would assume so, seeing as how they let us keep our smith open.
Fair enough, I suppose. Well, if you're interested, I've got a bit of a unique job for you. She kind of unbuckles the gauntlets and slips them off and holds them up in front of him so you can see the puncture on the top of both of them.
He takes a look at him and he's like, juggling daggers.
Not quite.
I had a brother who tried to do that. Kind of turned out the same way. Except it was his hands, not his gauntlets. So I'm just gonna take an educated guess here. You want the holes repaired?
I do. But
do that.
They aren't just any ordinary gauntlets. Do you understand how magic works, by any chance? How it's focused?
He kind of looks up at you. Are you talking with lyrium?
Well, however, I'm trying to be careful about how I word these things. I've been getting in a lot of trouble lately.
Yes, I know how magic works. I ain't a
Okay.
mage, but I know how to use lyrium.
Well, those gauntlets are a focus, the same way that a staff or a wand is.
Oh, you're one of those lyrium chuggers. Yeah, we can do it.
I'm sorry, what did you call me?
Oh, lyrium chuggers. It's something me and the boys call mages.
Well, it sounds quite offensive.
Well, it's not meant to be offensive, just poking a little bit of fun.
I'm not having fun.
I wouldn't either with these broken.
Yes. So, do you think you could repair them? Is that within your level of skill?
Oh, this is an easy half day's work.
So you'll take the job then.
Oh, but of course. Haven't turned down a customer yet. Except the drunks who want daggers. That never
Yes.
ends well.
Well, a drunk with a dagger is how that happened.
Oh. Well then. Yes, I
can feel that from across the city, Valenta.
Valenta just all of a sudden feels insulted.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm like, that bitch.
Just a notification. Valenta will remember that.
And if it's not too much trouble, I don't really want the look of them altered at all, just fixed.
Simple patch job.
Yes, we'll make it look nice.
Well, I don't half-ass anything.
Good to
All
hear.
of my work gets my full ass.
I'm just going to skip right over that. How much is this going to run me?
Oh, this little thing? 20 gold.
20 gold and half a day's work, you said.
Easily half a day's work.
Right. Well, I will return in half a day.
All right. I need your name because I'm going to forget what you
Yes.
look like. You're human.
Easily forgettable.
No, you're human. You all look the same to us.
Well, I have muttered those words about dwarves, so I suppose that's fair. The name is Estia.
Okay. Yeah, you can pick it up in a half day.
Wonderful. Here's your gold. I'll be on my way.
Oh, an upfront payer. I like you even more.
I've found that people are more inclined to do the job right if they've already received the payment.
We work either
But
way.
if you try and take the payment and run off, that would be a very bad idea.
He kind of looks at you and gives you a look like he can't believe you just noticed that. My dear lady, I am a merchant of high respect here in the city. The last thing I'm going to do is try to run off with 20 gold for a bracer project.
Yes, well, forgive me, but the last merchant in this city that I gave money to took it and ran off. So, not a great experience so far.
Were they a dwarf?
No, they were an elf.
Oh, see, that's why.
I should have known better.
Elves are flighty.
Well, I thank you for taking the job, and I'll be on my way.
Mm-hmm.
I turn to head off and start heading towards the docks.
Okay. Valenta, what have you been doing after?
I've got a list. So yeah, I'm going to House and Y, and I'm hoping half the stuff they have is what I need. So again, scouting, just keeping an eye out for whoever's tailing me / the weird creepy guy. And going into House and Wise.
Okay. Now, when you go into House and Wise, the name kind of throws you off, or it takes you for a spin a bit, as the name kind of implies like it's just like a pile of goods that people just rummage through. But the shop is very neatly kept and organized, though it is a wide variety of selection, going from seeds to animal bones to dried out strips of leather, a couple a couple blacksmithing tools that really don't belong into a set in and of itself, but they're on sale. Half-filled books, and a map with what looks to be paint covering certain areas of Ferelden in giant red X's. A very creepy looking porcelain doll. You know, it's just a very random shop to begin with.
Hello?
Oh, hello there. As you could swear that a mannequin is talking to you before a man who's maybe in his early 20s walks out, and he's in a very, what looks like maybe he got dressed in the dark, as he's wearing a bright orange shirt, but his pants are like this faded brown with what you can maybe assume is mustard stains. He's wearing two different color work gloves as he's walking out and taking them off, and he just tosses them onto just a random counter.
Are you Jeffrey?
That's me.
Was wondering, make my shopping a little bit easier, if you had a few things in stock. One of them being, do you have a potions kit?
Definitely have a potions kit.
Okay.
Just put that away.
What was that?
I just put it away. I know where it's at.
Oh, okay. That's good. Do you have any bandages and lockpicks?
Yes.
Okay. Any extra vials by chance? Just a couple?
Empty ones, half-filled ones.
Empty ones, preferably.
You can probably have a couple of those.
Perfect. And I don't suppose you sell... You know what? You probably don't sell clothing, so I'm not even... I'm just not...
Oh, we have clothing.
Yep.
We have clothing.
You do?
Yes.
Can I see what you have?
Right down that way. As he points down, and you can see that there is a small, like, rack of clothing over near a back wall. It's just got random sets of clothing in it.
I'm gonna glance over, see how small the selection is, and I'm like, I'll go to a different shop. And I'll just go back over. I'm like, all right, I'll just purchase all of what I just said.
Okay. Just wait for me over there at the counter. I will be back with your stuff.
All right. I'll just wait while staying alert.
And about 10 minutes later, he comes back with a small box full of stuff. He's like, okay, so got a potions kit, 3 vials, 4 lockpicks. You didn't want clothes. I forget anything?
The bandages?
Oh, yes, and he like ducks underneath the desk and he pulls up 2 rolls of bandages.
Perfect. That's everything.
Okay, let's say 22 gold.
Because of the damn kit. I'm going to check the box and just inspect to make sure everything is there as he said.
Everything's there. It's a potion kit.
Okay.
It just sounds like he just made the price up off the top of his head.
All right. You know, a lot of these are very common. I mean, I could just buy them anywhere. Is there any way you can knock down the price just a smidge to maybe 17?
Oh, are you gonna do a roll here?
Yeah.
Is there bartering?
Sure there is somewhere. It's probably
There is bargaining under communication.
There we go. Communication, bargaining.
Okay. Let's see if I knock it down to 15 gold. Oh, geez. Okay. Oh no. Nope.
15's a little too cheap. Do you not have 22?
No, fine. Here's 22.
Oh, thank you. I was getting worried I got this for nothing.
No, it's fine. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. I'm going to leave and head on over to. I've got 3 more stops. Jesus. I want to go pop into a clothes store real quick. I know Ferelden is very, they pride themselves on furs, so I'm looking for some sort of kind of fur leather shop.
All right. Going on over to the Canary and the dwarf once again. As you guys approach the smith, you see Astia leaving. Like just as you are approaching the shop, she is coming out of it.
Oh, I hope she didn't upset them. I just do sort of a wave to Astia as we're walking by, assuming she's even paying attention.
I thought I felt a chill down my spine.
Let's find out if she's paying attention.
I thought it was just because I had less clothing on than normal.
You would see them if you wanted to.
I see them, but I pretend I don't.
I see how it is.
Which, by the way, I'm basically in a loincloth and boots at this point, I guess, because they have my armor.
Oh, that's right. You took your armor off to be enchanted. So you're like walking around in boots and a loincloth.
Yep.
There's a sight for you guys. So you walk into the smith's and you can see that one of the dwarves has Astia's gauntlets on a table. And right as he begins to stroke his beard, and he looks over and goes, "More customers."
Oh, those look familiar as I look at the gauntlets on the counter.
Oh yes, apparently a mage dropped them off, said she got stabbed in the hands. I don't know, this looks like a knife juggling accident.
No, she was stabbed in the hands. Unfortunate incident, but she definitely was stabbed.
Oh, you know her?
Mm-hmm.
So what can I do for you?
Well, as Magnus is still picking at like one of the holes in the sleeve, this is probably beyond any semblance of repair.
Oh, nonsense. I could repair that.
But do we want to repair it?
I don't know. How attached to you are you? How attached to it are you?
Given its current condition, it's barely attached. Plus, it's far too light. As you can see, it's not doing its job as well as I could hope.
Really, you'd want something to weigh you down even more. Looks rather bulky. I say as I'm wearing loincloth and boots.
Would you put something on? Really?
What would you recommend?
A towel? I was looking for something heavier, possibly, and I'm not sure what you have on hand or if you make things to order.
I can do both. Now, what armor do you have right now?
The remains of some heavy leather armor.
Okay. So you want some heavy armor, but still be able to sort of move, right?
I don't want to look like the tin can that is the Templars,
Okay.
but something better than hardened animal hides would be preferable.
So something like maybe a heavy mail.
That would probably work.
I could definitely do that. Now, do you want it just a basic heavy mail, or do you want a little bit of customization to it?
Well, considering what we have to deal with and the fact that we mostly end up traveling at night, I don't want it to stand out should any light catch it.
So make it more of a modded gray tint.
That would be preferable, yes.
We could do that. Easily done.
You came recommended from the gentleman that does all the enchanting.
Sandal?
Yes. Well, no, Sandal's father.
Oh, Bowden. I was confused. I thought the boy finally started putting sentences together.
No, it's muttering strings of nonsense, but apparently he's quite capable.
Wait, did he say something?
He said many things, none of them made sense.
What did he say?
As Magnus sits here and tries to recall it.
Something about two hearts going down a hole. Slow something or other.
Oh.
It sounded not quite
Oh.
pleasant.
Sounded
Well-
very cryptic.
Only Sandal would think of that. You see, not many people know this, but I have a person on the inside. He's kind of the royal shoesmith, to say the least. He works on horseshoes. It seems that our dear queen and a friend of the king were recently caught in a sinkhole. They are
Really?
both expected dead, and our king is in a state of mourning.
He didn't go looking to make sure?
There was no way to be sure without putting his own life in danger, and as what he was good and well to do it, his men would not allow him.
Well,
God damn it, Fox.
No.
either way, you came highly recommended from Bowden.
Well, he's always been a good lad to me and my boys. Be more than happy to do whatever I could for you.
He said the products that you create are very easy for Sandal to enchant.
Yes, it's the way we speak to the metal, I guess you can say.
Well, the better question is, do you have something on hand or
I
make it?
would prefer to do a custom design for you.
What does something like that usually cost?
Well, if you're only looking for like the modded gray tint to it, everything run you about 3 gold.
That's more than reasonable, especially if you're making it just for me.
Can't have you running around in armor that doesn't fit.
Well, some people do that.
And those people are dumb.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Now, what about your close to naked friend here? Any armor we
That's
can
his
get him?
personal choice.
Well, I do have a couple of ideas.
Oh,
Do you do things other than armor?
like what?
I was thinking of commissioning a custom torque.
Yes, we could do that.
With 2 dragon heads.
A torque with 2 dragon heads. What do you want the dragon heads to be doing?
Something badass.
Something badass.
Just looking mean.
Oh, they are dragons. I
Yes.
haven't seen one that is nice. Yeah, we can totally do that.
How much would that cost?
Custom piece like that. Big guy like you. 50 silver.
What if each of the heads had a gem in it?
Are you supplying the gems?
I don't think I have any.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't.
Well, what kind of gems are you looking for?
Something that could receive future enchantments. In the background, I hear enchantment.
Well, that would be any stone. We got a couple gems laying around here from a past project we worked on. So put the gems in the dragon's mouth. You're looking at like a gold and a half.
Done.
Perfect. I just need both your names.
What about any gauntlets?
We can make those too. And you want dragons on that as well?
Of course.
You want gems in the dragons?
If you have them around.
Oh, we do. Like I said, we have some from a past project.
I'm not looking for flashy, something
Practical.
practical, something that could be useful.
Definitely do something for you. So, with the torque, with the badass dragons, with the gems in their mouth, and the bracers with the dragons on it with the gems on them, you're now going to be looking at about 2.5 gold.
Done.
2.5 it is. So, you said your name was Magnus.
Magnus.
And what about you, big man?
Just call me Roz.
Ross. Okay, well, I will get some of my boys on this right away. I've got an order to work on these, your friend's gauntlets. Looks like we are in for a busy night.
You seem more than capable as I'm looking around at things they've done.
Oh, I'm very thankful you came by. We were almost done with this sword with rings in it project that some weird Antivan mercenary asked for. So we were afraid we were going to run out of work. Gonna have to start drinking.
A sword with rings?
Yes.
Interesting.
Look, I don't question it. They asked me to make it. Me and my boys make it.
Seems unnecessarily noisy.
Yes, but I think that's the point of what he wants. He wants it, as he said, to sing as he's cleaving through his enemies.
Well,
Seems
I can
unnecessary.
understand that sentiment.
Well, check back For a full set of armor like that, give me a couple days in order to have it made.
Not a worry.
Your bracers and your torque, that'll take about a day and a half as well.
That's fine. And I'll pay.
Okay. Forgot you guys actually have a decent amount of gold, and looking through the prices and stuff in the game, everything is relatively cheap. Like one gold is expensive. Like I'm looking at the prices for heavy mail. Heavy mail is only 75 silver. A thing of half plate is 150.
Well, we gotta stock up before a long journey, so
Time to gear up.
hail
Alright.
you.
Considering how much abuse I take.
Yeah, seriously.
I was thinking Magnus might want to put like some sort of extra weight on the hilt of his axe because it gets so much use.
I don't need to continually. I'll get a small mallet at that point.
I should get a helmet while I'm here.
You might want to.
Now I'm trying to remember. Did we say where we were meeting up afterwards?
Nope.
Okay.
I think today is shopping and resting.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a week to kill, so
No. Now that my important things are done, Magnus is going to go on the great tavern hunt.
Okay.
Yeah, and my only concern is going back and picking up my necessary gear from the enchantment when it's ready at the end of the day.
You just want
Make sure that I have it back in my possession as soon as possible. And then drinking and sleeping.
Okay. So not Estia, I'm sorry. Valanta. Where are you headed at the moment?
I'm going to quickly pop in a fur shop and then head on over to the enchant.
Okay. So, as you're walking through the streets and everything, you see a small gathering of people near like an alleyway. All like talking and like whispering to one another, as that same man that you saw earlier was standing there. And he seems to be talking to each one of them, one at a time. And as you get closer, you hear him again talking about choice. That everyone doesn't necessarily have to give in to desires to lead a fulfilling life. But at the end of the day, it is simply their choice. A choice that can lead to glory and riches if they're willing to take the risk.
I get closer.
And as you begin to get closer, he kind of looks over at you and he kind of laughs to himself. That is all I have for today, my friends. I will seek you out later tonight for some drinks and we can continue our conversations. But there is other business I must attend to. Then he kind of like squeezes like his back against the wall, putting one of the people between you and him as he quickly walks off.
I follow him.
Okay.
And I tail him until I can get us alone.
Okay. And you begin to tail him, and once again you lose him in a crowd. It's like one moment that he's there, the next he's not.
She can feel her heart beating fast in her chest, and she looks frantically around for any sign of where he may have gone.
You don't really see anything that would give away where he's at, though the people he was talking to are kind of like eyeing you with suspicion because you weren't really making it or trying to hide the fact you were tailing him.
I'm gonna kneel down to Saran, be like, "Can you sniff him out, boy?
He,
Can you pick up a scent?"
he sniffs in the air and he sniffs around to the ground, and he kind of gives you a negatory whimper.
That's all right. I think I know how he's getting away from me. The tavern, he says. All right. I'll have to go tonight. I'll go try to find someone in the crowd that was listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, "Excuse me."
They're all still around that corner as they're like conversing with one another after like kind of just shrugging you off.
"Excuse me. I'm very interested in what he had to say. I'm unfortunately only heard the tail end of it. What was he talking about?"
Oh, he was talking about choices in our lives and how the Chantry negatively thinks of personal choices sometimes as temptation or unwanted desires, and that if we want to live our life to our fullest, we should be willing to make a choice.
You're talking about free will.
Yes, free will. That is what he said.
Very clever man. He said he was meeting up later.
Oh, yes. He said that he would meet us at the tavern. We've been meeting there for drinks the past couple nights. Us and a couple of our colleagues.
Would love to join. Which tavern is it, and what time should I be there?
You're gonna want the Gilded Lily.
Gilded Lily.
He normally shows up around a little past sundown, and he's there until sunrise.
He sounds all nice.
He's very he can hold his alcohol, let's say that.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, is the Gilded Lily far from here?
Oh no, it is just right down there, and they just point, and it's right down the street. You can see a sign that says Gilded Lily. It's got a very a gold inlaid flower on the sign.
Perfect. I make a mental note.
If you're looking for him, if you're a little late, just ask for Master Ishmael. They should know who you're speaking of.
Of course. I knew it. All right. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to meet him.
He is like no other.
Thank you. I walk away.
All right, and I think we're gonna end right there tonight. Calling it early a little bit tonight, as my stomach is not really agreeing with me right now.
Oh no!
I don't know if it's stress or what it is, but my stomach is not liking me. So gonna have to call it for tonight.
Stop. Tell to stop.
As someone who just got over food poisoning, I feel you.
Yep, it's not fun. It's just annoyance. Let's just call it that.
I'm still rehydrating.
All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in as we continued on with Blood on the Gray, getting a little bit of shopping done and causing Valenta to have a heart attack. But we will be back next week for for more Blood on the Gray. But that is not the only show we do here. We do have 4 shows that we run a week. On Monday nights, we have Ravenloft Calls, which is a Ravenloft campaign that Impious runs. On Tuesday night, you have Gibbering Mallers, which is a 5th edition D&D game that IDM and both HP Fox and Zora are in that game as well. Wednesday night, you have us here on Blood and the Gray, which is our Dragon Age game. And then Sunday night is our this is our Dragon Age game. Our Dragon Heist game is on Sunday, which is Waist High and Waterdeep. Like I said, we are going to go on a raid here in just a moment, but before we do, Shadow Fox, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I'm Shadow Fox 741. I'm recently trying to get back into a regular schedule, which just hasn't happened yet due to many different circumstances. But mostly play Warframe on the weekends, some Borderlands playthrough with a group of other streamers. And I'm going to be getting into some variety gameplay, and we'll see what comes up in that here pretty soon. Yeah.
All right. HB Fox, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I'm HB Fox, and I'm here on this channel 3 times a week, every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Aside from that, I work alongside the Hunter Wild on everything that we do. We just came back from a very long hiatus. We are live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific. So if you're interested in a variety cast that has a focus on conversation more than anything else, conversation with the community, stop by and say hi.
Ravenslark, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am Ravenslark. I'm Variety Caster here on Twitch. I'm here Wednesdays with these amazing people for Blood and the Gray, and I'm live on my own channel Monday through Friday, usually starting at about 7 p.m. Central. I've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy lately, roguelikes, other RPGs, and occasionally PC building, which is what is happening tomorrow. So if you want to witness another of my ITX micro gaming builds, that's going to be tomorrow for us.
Zorro, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am Zoro from A3. I am a variety caster / creative streamer on the Twitches. I do everything from story and RPG based games, Dead by Daylight, and arts are anywhere between character designs, Twitch emotes, and commissions. Otherwise, I am here Tuesdays and Wednesdays with these lovely people, having all kinds of fun and shenanigans and murder hoboing.
And I am Rojan Quest. You can catch me here 3 nights a week, DMing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, as well as playing on Sundays. When I'm not here, I'm on my own channel doing playing a variety of games. Coming up, playing a lot of Vicious Circle, and in 2 weeks, jumping back into WoW Classic, going back to the hellish grinding hellscape that I absolutely adore. All the while raising money for the Lawrence Small Children's Center through Extra Life. But like I said, we are going to go on a raid here. And since he is just now coming back and gracing us with his glorious presence, we are going to go raid, if I can get the thing to pop up. There we go. We're going to go raid the Hunter Wild. So if you guys want to join us on that raid, hit that raid now button up at the top. Drop our raid command of behold a raid in his chat a couple times. Let's go show him some love, and we will catch you guys Sunday for more Waist High and Waterdeep. But until then, guys, have a good one.